Welcome back, Internet. This is episode 49 of the Epic Fail podcast. I am still Draven Dresden. I am still, as you can hear, next to dead. And it's getting stinky because he doesn't shower.
Your voice sounds better like this, Draven. You're much more manly. Get that grr going on.
Okay, this is me trying not to lose what is left of my voice. So it's lowered a little bit, and I'm getting up even closer to the microphone than normal, just so I can speak a little bit softer.
My coworker had, I don't know if it's the same thing, but she also lost her voice. But then her lung collapsed. So she's not allowed to speak because then it's taking air away from her one good lung. So it could be worse.
Dear Blizzard, please don't let my lung collapse. I know you have no control over this, but any help you can give would be appreciated.
Gal says lemon, warm tea, and honey, and I'll add whiskey. Whiskey actually clears the dirty stuff out of your throat.
Getting back on topic before we never find the rails. Today is Friday, February 26th, 2016, and as I mentioned earlier, it is episode 49 of the Epic Fail podcast.
You are now listening to the Epic Fail podcast.
I still see that picture of me and go, ew, burn it with fire.
All you had to do was give me a new one.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
That would require me taking a picture, and right now that's not going to happen. Even less than normal. Anyway, greetings! As mentioned, I am Draven Dresden, the one who's near death, and apparently close to a collapsed lung. With me as always, and this week you might get a little bit of extra fun because I am dog sitting for my parents. So, woohoo. My co-conductors to this fail train. First up, ladies first, because it's polite and all that fun stuff. All the way from Canada, the place where sickness comes from.
To be fair, my coworker is British, so it actually came from England. Although she didn't make everyone sick. She got sick. So then it was from my other coworker who was from Ethiopia.
I just want to point out I did not catch it from them. That being said, Scarlett, how you doing this week? What have you been up to?
I have been up to nothing this week, really. I did a little bit of raiding. Are you gonna die?
I hope not.
I did a bit of raiding. I did a bit of Diablo. That's about it. This week I just kind of did the log on to do the holiday stuff and then log out and try to sleep because work schedule is really messed up. But then that didn't really work because then on Thursday I slept from 6 p.m. to not Thursday. Whatever. Anyways, I've been up for close to 48 hours right now with only a 2-hour nap in between. So I'm confused. But anyways, That's what the weekend is for, is sleeping. So anyways, That's what I've been up to.
And then, from way down south in the... I'm sick. I don't have a clever say. Theory, how you doing this week? What have you been up to?
I'm doing pretty good. I had like a 4-hour nap today on my day off, and nothing really to complain about. The weather's amazing, slightly chilly for me, and pretty warm for the rest of y'all people. So yeah, not a whole lot of complaints except for that freaking love rocket that doesn't drop. Oh yeah, and that no beta. Yeah, that there's my complaint right up. Yeah, because that's some baloney. But I am a proud member of the no beta club. Not really. I'm an
That's
upset,
okay.
bitter, salty member of the no beta club.
I'm there with you. I'm in the no beta club as well. Yep.
Oh, I didn't put it in on this screen. I'll have to fix that.
That's okay. You could put it everywhere. I hope the karma comes back and I get beta.
Yeah.
I know they just rolled out another wave, which we may or may not talk about in a little bit, but I was not part of it.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I have it, but I can't play it yet.
It used to make me feel better. It's wearing off. It doesn't make me feel better anymore.
Okay. Well, then, you'll be happy to know that this week I went out and I bought a video card.
Oh, yeah, I know. How'd that work out?
Well, my power supply is not strong enough for it, so I had to buy a power supply too. I'm expecting it maybe tomorrow, but definitely by Tuesday. And
That makes me feel better.
Okay.
So he can't play the beta till Tuesday. Ha ha ha.
I'm not gonna lie, honestly, the first thing I'm gonna do, if it's on Tuesday, I'm gonna play Heroes of the Storm. I'm gonna buy Zul, the Necromancer, because it comes out. And I'll probably level him to 8 or 9 that day. But in terms of my week, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know I have several Love Rocket attempts.
I thought you were going to say you have several love rockets, and I was like, what are you hiding in your closet?
Is this like the credit card, what's in your wallet?
All I know is that this show just got very, very scary for about 3 seconds, and I'm glad it didn't actually go there. I was about to pull a plug on my internet.
I'm not telling you what I keep in my closet, because you really don't want to know.
Yes, please don't. Please, no. Please don't.
There's no actual skeletons over there. Shush. I can hear you. Anyway, yeah, I've got many kills. Still no rocket. I've got tons of pets that I'm kind of just throwing away. Masks, flowers. Whole lot of nothing worth anything. Yes. No, Galv, I am not selling anything. Anyway, that's been pretty much my week, failing at doing that. Mainly because, as you can hear, I'm still kind of and it's been going since before show last week. So, I had planned on going tomorrow to Cleveland Comic-Con and not lick Matt Smith, Scarlett.
By that you mean actually do?
But because of how sick I got, I called off work. I can still go, but it'll put a hindrance on getting to BlizzCon later in the year, so I had to pick one or the other.
You know, can we all just, not have to worry about money? That would be lovely.
I would love that. And as soon as you figure out how that happens...
So... we make a mask, and then...
I'm going to stop you right there, because if you keep going, if something happens, there's recorded evidence and premeditation will come up.
There's a lottery, but somebody else keeps winning. That's what it is.
You know, I keep saying that I'm going to win the lottery, but then I'm like, you
Forget
know
the
what?
plan.
That because here I don't know about how much it is in the States, but here the lottery's $5. So that $5 can go into like buying groceries. So I just do that instead.
It was
So yeah.
1.5 billion not that long ago. I spent $10 total,
Oh
which is
no,
more than I'd spent in the past like many years.
so I actually had a lottery ticket for that Powerball.
Yeah, I heard. You ended up
Yeah,
losing money on a winning ticket.
pretty much, but I didn't pay my sister yet, so you know, whatever.
All right. So before we go too far off topic, got a little bit of Blizzard news, and it's not really in the show notes, you guys, but you know it's there. So let's go ahead and hit up the Blizzard news.
This is the Blizzard news you can use.
So this week for Blizzard news, we got a couple things. Nothing huge. But first, we wanted to theories, backgrounds. I don't know if you noticed. I'll skim through all of us real quick. You can see some backgrounds, like here. It's Li Ming from Heroes. I've got Tracer, but I'm blocking her. So what I will do is, hey, it's Tracer. It is a vast improvement over what it was a few seconds ago.
I was gonna say.
I beat you to it, so you can't say it. And then we got Scarlet here. I'm thinking it's Sylvanas, maybe Widowmaker. I don't know.
There's a unicorn horn on her head, so Sylvanas doesn't have that.
I don't
But
know.
And
I
it looks like she has a sword, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an anime Sailor Moon Genji.
It's a something.
Yep.
In theory, let me get rid of that and then that. I don't know what this is.
So this one is pretty cool, and I'm gonna actually look it up so I can tell you what it is because it's not WoW.
I
Yeah.
thought it was McCree. The old
Nope.
McCree.
That one is Nick Valentine.
I don't know who that is.
Who's Nick Valentine? Because
It's
now I
a
want to
it's
know.
I want to say it's a character from a comic book. Forgive me, I'm kind of like off screen here. I'm on the Mac. Let me see if I can.
Puppies! Oh,
Yeah,
Fallout
they're
4.
being walked. So
Yeah.
yep, Fallout. So this artist, who on that main page there, you can see the website for their Deviant Art page, was featured on MMO Champion and a couple other places for some of their new art. So some pretty cool stuff. Definitely check that out. It's not just Blizzard, but they do have a lot of Blizzard art. As you can see, the Crusader that's down there in the middle is pretty cool too. Didn't end up using that one, but those are just a few of the really, really cool pieces that this artist has. He's from Hungary. He's, I want to say, yeah, he's 29. And he's been a member of Deviant Art for 11 years. So pretty cool artist and a lot of really cool artwork. And it's not just like one genre. As you can tell from these four pictures, they're all fairly different from each other. But I'd like to do more stuff like this, with the graphics design, because there's a huge following for Blizzard gaming and gaming in general amongst a lot of really talented artists out there. So it's pretty cool when they get noticed and they're on places like MMO Champion and on Blizzard's main page as well.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna be doing anytime we have a bunch of pictures from the same person, we're gonna start giving them credit and hopefully get their name out there and get them. Because you never know. I mean, everyone starts somewhere. Maybe this person was like, I want to. It's a guy, but I want to be a badge babe and make badges for people. Who knows? Maybe.
And we've featured stuff with Fabelina before and things like that, and I think that there's definitely some room for that, especially as the news gets a little slim.
Actually,
That
a
and-
lot of my a lot of the people I follow on Twitter end up being those artists because I just followed them all, so they followed me back. So not necessarily that we actually talk, but I love their art. It's cool to see.
And I think is it Atryl? I'm not real sure how to pronounce it. Atryl is the artist's name.
Yeah. It's self-taught, so that's kind of cool. So yes, go check them out and give them feedback, let them know they're cool, all that fun stuff. The other Blizzard news thing, I'm gonna just start with. I don't care that I know what he looks like under the mask. I still want that freaking Funko Pop thing. The
I want
Overwatch.
all 4 of them.
Yeah. Well, it comes out in May. May happens to be my birth month. So I will at least be getting Reaper. And I'm not really sure if I'm getting any of the other ones or not, to be honest.
You need Winston, okay? Look how adorable he is.
I will be getting Winston in game.
Yeah, I want all 4 of these. And speaking of pops, I told someone who's a kind of member of the show that I would show this on stream. One that I got today, which is the unmasked Darth Vader.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do love my pops.
I've got 3 or 4 total. Yeah, I never
So
really
do you
got into
unbox yours?
No, I don't unbox anything.
I do not as well.
Case in point, from BlizzCon, my Aberther hat is still in the packaging.
Why have you not worn that on the show?
Because I might be saving it for something special. Like episode 150.
So my mind just went other places. That's funny.
And now we all did.
She has a very sick and twisted mind, and people call me strange.
Well, you said I'm saving him for something special, and that.
Yes, I'm gonna go light some
You needed to
candles.
rephrase that.
Maybe he's gonna wear it outside to tend his garden.
Actually,
in the middle of winter.
Yeah, I could take that hat and put it on the wooden sculptures that are out there. There's like a giant wooden spider and stuff and other random animals for whatever reason. Just stick it out on that and it'd be kind of fun. But, anyway, come May, these are the first 4 at least. There will likely be more of them being released, but for now.
So I do want to say one thing about pops that I don't like real quick. So when I was killing time today, because I was at the mall and I had to wait there for an hour, they have these pops like the one that I bought that are like the regular size pops that are pretty cool for Star Wars. But then they also have these other ones that are a little bit taller and different packaging for all the new characters. Why make them different? Like the ones that I carry are all the same size, and that's part of the reason why I like them. So when they make them in a different packaging size and a different size character, it's like, nope. I probably would have bought like 3 other ones if they'd have been the same size.
Were they different cost?
They may have been like $1 more. Not if they were a different cost, they weren't a lot. It's not like they were a huge amount different. They were like the box was like an inch taller and like an inch skinnier, and the pop was the same approximate size as the box. So like, yeah, it was. I don't understand why they would do that.
No idea there.
Money for that extra $1.
They could have charged an extra $1 for the normal size. I'd have paid it. Yeah. The $1 is not the issue. It's the lack of conformity. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird like that. But if it's a collection, I want them to be the same.
And in chat, Gal just put, because Kylo is emo.
Yeah.
There was Yeah, there was a quiz, and someone was like, "What's your favorite Disney princess?" And I said Kylo Ren.
Okay, so
Yes.
he's kind of hot in a weird way with big ears and a big nose, but big ears. But kind of hot.
Okay, we'll go
We need
with it.
another girl on the show to discuss. I think if we had another girl on the show, yeah.
You are more than welcome to try to invite people on. Just give us notice and stuff like that, and see what we can do.
I don't know if you're going to have any luck finding one that has a similar taste in men as you, though. You have a very unique style.
Huge blue Lich King armor,
Emos.
emos. Kylo Ren kind of falls in the emo one. It just,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't.
A style of her own.
We'll give you that. Style of your own. Anyway, do we have anything else?
Sparkly
Blizzardy.
is England.
Helen just said
Not-
large, blue, and sparkly.
Not vampire sparkly. Vampires should not sparkle. They should be covered in blood.
All I'm gonna say, I'm wearing a red shirt. I don't know either.
Is that to hide the blood?
Yes, that's because that way bad guys
Oh,
can't see me
boy.
bleed. And for the record, I can't show it because I'm not actually allowed. Well, I mean I am, but it's not polite to show it on air yet because it's a Loot Crate shirt. But it's so bad guys can't see me bleed. That's a hint as to what it is. Anyway,
Who told you you're not allowed to show it?
it's not considered polite until everything has been sent out and received, and it's got another couple days before that happens.
Alan says the shirt was white.
Are we going back to the gold and black and white and blue dresses? You remember Scarlet? We did an entire episode of making fun of that.
Sometimes Facebook can just go die on a train with all their bandwagons. Yeah.
Sometimes
Okay, all the time.
I don't even use mine anymore, and I mean that for the show too. I haven't even logged into that, and I don't know.
You know, you really need to update that because I have one person on my Facebook who watches the show from me reposting those.
Well,
So
then
that would be one more listener.
give them the link to the website or the link to the Twitch.
They don't really have internet at home, I don't think. So they just download it like on the go. She's a really cool chick. She used to play WoW.
If I remember, which may or may not happen. Anyway, anything else Blizzard related that is not certain game specific? Alright. In that case, first certain game, World of Warcraft. Love is in the air. Or salt is in the air. Or... Yes.
World of Warcraft.
So, Warcraft, huh? We got a couple things, and we got a really heartfelt message that we got sent in that we're going to throw into the World of Warcraft area. And we're going to, yeah. It's going to be a nice little thing.
Is that thanks for the show?
You didn't put it in the show notes, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think he's saying thanks for the show.
Possibly, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
Anyway, so up first, Theory. We have this up first just because of how it got set up.
Epic
your
flails.
epic flails.
That's right.
So-
Epic flails.
So there's an ongoing joke now that someone's going to pay him to rename his paladin to Epic
I-
Flails.
I can't do it, but I still think it's awesome. Epic flails. This has made me decide my main. Period. I had no idea, and I'll be honest with you. I think it's kind of dumb to choose paladin because it's going to be 50,000 paladins because everybody's going to want their artifact weapon. I don't care. I'll pally it up. I will have me an epic flail, and that is fine because they're awesome.
So it's
The
a-
animation even looks cool. Yes, it's part of your prot artifact weapon. Like the artifact weapon's actually the shield, but you can either use a sword or one of these flails with it, and the flail just looks awesome. Because I don't know if you guys remember, like 6-8 months ago when Johanna first came out, and I was talking about how awesome her flail was, and I wish that we had that in WoW. So thanks, Howland, for listening to me and passing that one on because. I love it, and it looks awesome, and it made me decide to continue to want to play a prop pally.
So that's what I was going to say. It reminds me of the Crusader from Diablo with the shield and the thing. That is
Very
awesome.
much so.
Now, if you could only turn into like a blue and fiery horse, that would be cool too.
You mean a blue and glittery?
Oh,
Blue and sparkly?
That doesn't have to be sparkly.
so yes.
The Crusaders have a skill that they can turn into a horse and turn around.
And I'm gonna say yes to that because there is some changes to the paladin mount coming.
Cool.
The only flail that I've ever had any interest in, I mean, I will give you that theory. It is cool looking. But in terms of like real life, there's only ever been one that I've ever wanted to actually buy. And that is the freaking huge one from Lord of the Rings. There at the end. I'm like, I don't care if you can't actually lift it. I want it.
Well, I think that part of the reason why this is cool is it opens up the art team to do some really, really cool things with flails that they haven't done. So, I mean, just imagine if other characters can use it, if they spread a flail out to be able to be anything melee. You know, you could have a skull on a chain. You know, whatever. There's endless possibilities for cool stuff they could do with it, which is neat.
Yeah. So yeah, we have that. It looks cool. I'll be interested to see which skin or whatever they're calling it you pick, but
Well, right now I'm thinking the kind of yellowish orangish one at the top was the one that I would go with, but that
Top left?
slide is gone. Yes, top left. That one to me it looks coolest with most of the paladin armor that I currently use transmog wise. So unless there's some new stuff we haven't seen yet, that's probably what I'll want.
Yep. And next up, sad news, another world first guild has officially called it quits. Paragon, who was widely considered to be basically, even when they didn't get number one in the world, they were still considered number one in the world overall because they got so many number one kills that anytime there was a race, it was like, okay, who's it going to be, Paragon or? And you know, for a while it was Method, and it was pretty much those two. And every now and then someone would, you know, sneak in, but for the most part it was pretty much Paragon and Method. And now, after Warlords, both of those groups have kind of called it quits.
Yeah, the kind of odd thing about Paragon, and yes, I'm going to call him Paragon from now on, is that they even talk about it in their little post here that they had the ability to either take a couple steps back in order to continue to move forward or expand internationally. And they chose, rather than doing either of those things, to just call it. Which, you know, other guilds like, you know, Method, the New Serenity, and the other ones, they're reaching out to a broader audience to be able to continue raiding, where Paragon didn't really want to do that. They wanted to finish since they're all in Finland, and they weren't really willing to kind of spread that, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, from their point of view, they're speaking a different language than everybody else. Even if it's a second language, there's going to be that mental translation you have to do for a lot of the time, and that might be that one split second or fraction of a second that gets somebody killed, and then snowball dead.
I can understand that. The part that I really kind of surprised at is that they weren't willing to kind of widen their standards as far as ability goes. I mean, yeah, they've been considered to be one of the top 2 or 3 for a really long time, but is it really worth quitting just because you can't be the top 2 or 3 anymore?
That's what they did, though. If they're not going to be world first, second, maybe even third every now and then, and they can't continue to be up there, then they're like, well, there's really no reason to keep going.
Yeah, but the thing is that all the other teams have had issues too.
Yeah.
I mean, with Method switching to Serenity and the other Method restarting and all that kind of stuff. Realistically, even if they would have taken on half of a new team, which is what it sounds like they probably would have had to do, they probably would have still had a shot to be top 2 or 3. So it's a little surprising to me that they did call it quits. But, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they just didn't want to have to field brand new people and hope.
I can kind of understand that, though. When you're up at that level, it's like getting someone who's never ever raided before, and you're like, okay, so we're in heroic, so we're gonna like teach you how to do heroic, but here's a crash course. So I can understand them not wanting to do that, and since they were like the top, they have probably more
A more in-depth
like,
crash course.
No, what I'm like a more what am I trying to say? Standards. Like they hold themselves to higher standards than other people. So there's not going to be a lot that can potentially be the same as them, but then also having to do that, say that right now they're comfortable like shouting out commands and voice chat and whatever in Finnish, and then maybe not all of them are strong in English, so it's going to take them a few more seconds to switch over to English. And like, I'm saying that as someone who's like learned another language, and trying to do something that you're used to in a language is kind of awkward, actually. It's like it's really hard. Your mind like thinks, okay, that person is English, so I should speak English to them. But if you're trying to speak, like for my case, if say I was in a group of people and somebody only spoke Spanish, but then somebody only spoke English, it was really hard to switch between the two. Like it confuses your brain. So I can kind of understand why they did it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me, but it still sucks.
It does.
Yeah. So, R.I.P. Paragon. You will be missed by those of us who remember. And what is a Blizzard podcast without some, I don't know if salt's the right word to use here, but there was some issue being taken with how the Water Striders in Legion were being treated. My voice is dying, Theory. Do you want to hit this?
Do I want to hit this? No, you don't have to pass. You can keep it over there. But I will talk about this topic. Yeah, so you may have seen about a week ago, Blizzard came out and with a patch release for the Legion beta, they said that the 2 different Water Striders were only going to be usable in their appropriate expansion zones, which got a lot of feedback from a lot of people who weren't happy about it, especially on the forums. And I can kind of understand it. The funny thing about this is there's a couple of classes that don't need a water walking mount. So it's kind of already built in the game for DK's Scarlet. She doesn't really need this, but other people, have grinded out to be able to do the same thing. And if you were one of those people who did grind to get this mount, now all of a sudden the mount's not going to work for you, that would kind of suck. I can understand that. And people were voicing that opinion, especially in the older zones. So Blizzard first kind of flexed and said, oh, okay, well, fine. We're just going to make it so that it works everything below Legioned. And that seemed like people were okay with that. Cool. Yeah, whatever. And then they just completely said, you know what, never mind. We're just not going to change them all. They're fine, which was the newest thing that just happened today.
Really?
So the people who complained about this change won, which was kind of a quick battle.
I didn't see they changed it back
Yep.
to, okay, fine, you keep it.
Read the bottom one.
Yeah, they did.
Read the bottom one. Today, this afternoon, they actually said, you know what? We're just not going to change it.
Okay.
So it will work everywhere,
Yay.
which is surprising.
Well, you brought up Death Knights and Shaman, and then there's always the Potion of Water Walking.
Yep.
There were ways around what they were trying to do anyway, unless they got rid of, okay, you can't use this above certain level. Death Knights and Shaman, you can't use those 2 abilities until level 110.
That would make me really, really.
Yeah, that
angry
would
tank.
cause people to get even more upset to take away your abilities you've been able to use forever until you've capped. I don't think that would have been fair. To be honest, I don't have a Water Strider. I kind of wouldn't mind having one, but I have never felt the need to grind one.
Yeah.
So personally, I didn't really care. But I could see where other people would.
Yeah. I saw it. I threw a tweet at him. I was like, so are we getting rid of Death Knight's Water Walking, Shaman Water Walking, the Potion? And apparently, I didn't have a problem personally with it. I mean, it sucked that, Scarlet, a Death Knight, could walk over water just because she's a freaking Death Knight.
You know what? Mine gives everyone in my party the ability to do it. So,
well, am I going to be in your party when we
Death Knight.
level? Am I going to
That's
be in
true,
your
but-
party?
You were last
Are we
time
saying
till we
now
all
we have to
decided
have
not to.
DKs in our party?
Yeah,
Yes,
not everyone's going to have a
because we
Death
should be a
Knight.
mandatory class because we're just awesome.
Then whatever. You're all going to switch to Demon Hunter anyway.
You know what? I'm not switching to a Demon Hunter if I can't think of a freaking name that I like, and I can't think of a freaking name, so that Demon Hunter might just sit in the character creation screen. I'll be like, I want to play you, but I don't know a name.
I've got a couple tunes with names reserved.
But I don't want anything like Illidan second in command, blah blah blah.
I
It's
told
gotta be
you.
unique.
XX Illidan XX.
No.
I will bet you guys each $20. Day one, we're each going to find one.
Of course.
No doubt. Yeah.
I can't accept that bet because I agree with you.
All right. So we're going to win $20 from each of you.
It's like finding a Death Knight without the word death in its name is almost unique.
Or
Which
Arthas.
is why I'm named Scarlet. I haven't seen many Arthas, but I've seen like
Not recently.
Deathbringer, Death Plague, Death Everything.
I approve of that name at least.
Death Everything.
Death everything.
I just made that
I don't
one
think
up,
that fits.
but-
You can abbreviate.
Oh my god, Howland, that's awesome.
Yes. Howland, a.k.a.
Too bad you
whoever.
can't actually do that. That would be amazing.
naming a demon hunter prepared. Just going to stand in the starting zone and yell, "You are not prepared."
I like Galv's Lieutenant Illidan.
No, I think that you are not prepared totally wins.
I will have to check and
That's
see if
awesome.
I'm
But
I'm 99% sure the word prepared as a name is probably taken on almost every server.
so Prepared, if you don't know, is a 40 character multi-boxer who has been on several different servers. And yes, I'm pretty sure he's saved his name on every server. But yeah, he exists and has been around for a while. And we don't want him on our server. We can help.
So
Just saying.
40 characters.
Yes, 40.
So that's 40 accounts
He has more than
Times-
40 now, but yes.
times 50 characters per account that you can have. Is that 2,000 characters he could potentially have?
Math.
It's a lot, and he should feel bad about spending that much time leveling characters. Admittedly,
Dude, think about it.
he's-
He doesn't have to spend any time leveling.
because he's
If you
prepared.
can afford to have 40 characters, I'm sure you can afford to boost a few.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting into the math section of the show. 2,000 characters.
Is it 2,000? So I was right. Yay! I did math.
Yes,
with
it
no
was
sleep.
2,000.
So
I highly doubt he has 2,000 max tunes. I know
Probably
he has
not.
over 40.
That's crazy.
So, let's say he's got 40 boxes. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Let's say he's still paying with cash and not tokens. He is responsible for $9,000 a month.
I don't think your math's right. Let's fix that real quick.
No, it would be
Is that
right?
900.
$900
There you go. Yeah. So
out of zero.
we should do a spotlight on Prepared one of these times where we have no news, because I could tell you a lot about Prepared, but he didn't always used to have 40.
Yeah.
He started out with 15 and then went 20 and then went 30 and then now it's 40. But there's a lot to that there. And from what I understand, some of his costs initially, at least, were taken care of because it was done as an experiment. And so it ended up being kind of a business / educational expense. But anyway, now all he has to do is run old raids, and he's paid for all of his WoW accounts. And the old raids take 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, taking all
So,
max level
question.
characters and
Yep.
If you're multi-boxing
Hmm.
and you're 40, would they all go into a different instance?
It depends on the instance. Like Molten Core, they could all go in at the same time. That doesn't really, it's not very effective because you're splitting the gold.
Yeah.
But other ones, are capped at 25 or 10 or whatever, depending upon which zone they're. But he also has the ability to farm lots of things in order to make massive amounts of money. Think about this. If he does his own battleground and
Yeah.
he wins, every single one of them gets their "you just won a battleground," freebie box. There's a whole bunch of gold.
yeah, he solo
That's really
queues
cool.
battlegrounds.
Yeah, he solo queues battlegrounds. He does old raids by himself. He tries to do current raids by himself, which last time I checked, and this was a while ago, he was fairly successful at it. He can make gold quickly. I would be surprised if he's not using gold to pay for most of his accounts at this point, because otherwise he's just throwing away money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using gold to do it, and I'm not doing anything in game to make gold.
Except garrisons. Plus, think about 40 garrisons worth of farming.
I don't even want to think about 40 garrisons of getting the 2 level 3.
Well, if you boosted some, then you don't have to.
Yeah. So yeah, fun times. And this week marked the 1-year birthday for Pepe.
Pepe!
Hey, Pepe.
He's also 3 years old, but not in game.
Yes. Started off as a art project for a college kid. Now he's in game, and everyone's obsessed with him, and a lot of people even have a real life copy of him.
He should be somewhere up there unless my kitten threw them off, which it looks like he did. Because there's not a lot up there.
Yeah, it's a little bird. Your cat probably tried to eat it.
No, I think... I just saw a chat room. I think... I don't know what I was going to say. My cat would not eat birds. He would just look at them and yell.
Yeah. So, yeah, happy birthday, Pepe. We don't have a graphic up for it, but they changed the gold cap that you can transfer. Max level, currently 100 plus, since we're at 100 now. They were going to be 110 sometime later this year. 250,000 per character. Again, if you have more than that, just make a guild, transfer the guild, cost a couple extra bucks. There is no gold cap on that. Or get a bunch of pets you know are going to sell. Easy way to transfer gold that way. You can literally make a character on any server and all your pets are there. There's some gold to transfer to. So there are ways around it, but... Scarlet, you look like you were going to say something.
Yeah, but it was off topic, so I'm not gonna.
That's really not a shocker at this point.
No, it's like. I'll ask later.
All right.
By the way, I just want to say I've been corrected, and he now multi-boxes 80.
Holy! I was gonna say a swear word, but I stopped myself, so no bleeping for you, Draven.
That's too many. You need to go outside. Coming from a guy who does not go outside, you need to go outside.
We should have him as a guest on our show. Because why not?
I'm not opposed to it, but getting a hold of people is going to be the issue. I have no idea how to get a hold of him. I'm sure Theory knows how to get a hold of him.
Yeah, I don't know if I would really want him to be on the show, to be honest.
I don't know much about the dude, so...
I've been killed hundreds and hundreds of times by Prepared.
Oh, because you play on a PvP server.
Yeah, I used to be on Agwin, however you say it, years ago. He's not on that server anymore. He moved all his tunes. So imagine that. He paid to transfer 40, 38, whatever it was at the time, tunes. To Darkspear, I think he's on now. But, yeah.
So, in that case, since everybody's saying no, we should just have day 9?
I'll tell you what, Scarlet. If you invite him and he shows up, I'll have him on the show. I'll even invite you to the show that week, too.
Such a deal! Okay, I'm going to go ask him.
Go free. And last but not least, time walking this week. Burning Crusade Dungeons. I made a little joke in our show notes. Gingers don't do Sunwell because Sunwell's new. And
Wasn't it there last time?
Sunwell's new?
To the time walking.
Are you sure about that, sir?
It was last time.
Sunwell is a raid.
Whatever.
Sunwell is not a dungeon.
Whatever, which it's right there with Sunwell. I don't care what.
Oh, it's on the same island as Sunwell. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's Magister's Terrace.
Yeah.
By the way, so yeah, okay. Fail.
Yeah. Come on now.
I was wondering why you put that joke in there. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I got the dungeon wrong, but I also got a name. Ginger was the name of a tank we used to know.
Yes.
So I was, being topical at the same time. But still wrong.
You know what? That period of time where I was named Ginger, was a mistake because I've always been Scarlet. Even though for you guys it's a new name, it's my old name.
Okay.
Before that, I was like something else. But I don't know who this ginger person is. She was not me.
Yeah. And do we have anything else well related before we thanks for the show?
Before we
I
thanked.
think we're ready for thanks for the show.
Okay. A heartfelt message from a member of the community to another. That's what this is.
He's just a shark, only a few months old, in agony. A terrified little fish. A fish that knows nothing but pain. That pain is caused by a broken heart. A heart broken by loneliness. All Left Shark knows is it's in agony. All Left Shark knows is it won't stop. Will you help a Left Shark? We here at the Game Case are doing everything that we can to save all of the lonely and unwanted Left Sharks across Draenor. But will you help? Will you pick up your mouse today and mail that Left Shark to Dairies? Please. It takes nearly no time at all, but will make all the difference in the world to that one Left Shark. So mail today to Dairies on US Airy Peak, and remember to tell him, thanks for the show.
Thanks for the show, Darius. So, you guys know this, but this whole thing started in guild chat.
Yep.
Where someone just said, I don't even remember what the exact thing they said was, and on me
what
on
should
my
we do with these Left Sharks? Is what they said.
yeah, but there was I forget what the specific thing that I replied to. Someone mentioned bat guano, I think, and then I was like, Left Shark is the new bat guano. Mail to Dairies immediately, or something like that. And I'm on an alt that is not very well geared or known, which is good. And I'm just like, that's too funny. So I screenshot it and put it up on Twitter. Cuddles gets a hold of it. Monk Meditations podcast, Chai Tea, gets a hold of it. Cuddles is also converted. It just tons of people started doing it. As of a few days ago, at least, Darius has counted 171 Left Sharks got sent to him so far.
So
Well,
supposedly he's auctioning them now.
He sent all mine back.
He
I
hasn't
sent
sent
him
any
one
mine back.
Yeah, he
I
probably
sent
hasn't
him
got
one
to
before
it.
the show.
Yeah.
So
Admittedly, I might have sent him 13 of them.
did you buy them or
No.
you just had them?
I keep getting the quest, and on my paladin at least, I'm trying to get that X amount of quests. Excuse me, as I die in front of you. I keep getting that quest, and I'm trying to get the achievement for Shipyard Quest done. And it just is there. I'm like, well, I can get it, so why not? Buy his auction and send him back.
The funny thing about that is, one of the folks that was in Cuddle's stream earlier when I was watching it was talking about that's what he was doing. He saw that he was selling them, and he would do a raid with the reward that gives you like 500 gold if you're needed. And he would turn around and just use that money from the raid to buy all the Left Sharks from Dairies, and then turn around and send them right back to him, which I
That's
thought was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. So yes, Darius. I'm gonna go with sorry, not sorry. Thanks for the show.
Well, now
That's
bat guano is becoming kind of, not easy to come by anymore. So we needed
That's
something new.
yeah. That's what happened last time. Baguana was so everywhere. So, anything else WoW related before we move on?
Give me my love rocket.
Ugh.
With some of the comments made, I'm not touching that one with a 13.5-foot pole.
That's a long pole.
That's what she said.
Wow.
Anyway, as I
To be said.
yes, let's go ahead and move on from WoW. Then we'll probably remember something later, as we normally do. And let's hit up a little bit of the Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
So, this week's Tavern Brawl was interesting. Clash of the Minions. Every minion gets charge and taunt.
Why did you say it like that? Interesting.
I'm still debating on if I like it or not.
I could gather that from your voice. That's why I asked.
I'm 1 for 1.
Yeah,
Actually, I should say 1 for 2, but yes.
1 and 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 1-0, and I just haven't had the time, thanks to, sick and dying and lung collapsing. So, I don't.
So if I've learned anything this week, it's I need to keep busy or I will fall asleep anywhere, including like training at work again. So in order
everyone-
not to fall...
Everyone falls asleep training.
No, this is like abnormal. Anyways, in order not to fall asleep, I've been playing Tavern Brawl during the podcast. I like it. I like them all.
All but the one,
Except that one.
and I don't even remember which one it was, but I
I
remember
don't
it was
either.
all but one.
It just was silly.
But I made a Warrior Murloc deck. And I chose
Yay,
Warrior.
Murlocs.
I chose Warrior for one card. Bolster. Every taunt gets +2/+2. It's the
How did
only
that
time
go?
it's the only time I've ever used that card in any deck. And my opponent left after I played it. Because I had a board full of Murlocs. He was not happy. So yes.
Guess what deck I'm playing?
Priest.
Yes! And I win. Actually, quite a bit not win. But it's still fun. I'm about to lose right now to a warrior.
Yeah.
Stupid warriors.
Bolster. It's the only time you're ever going to use the card. Is this
He's
Tavern
not playing.
Brawl.
I've never run into a bolster warrior yet. That makes sense, but I haven't played one.
Yeah.
I just need to remake my priest deck.
Alright. Anything else Hearthstone related that you guys want to hit? Because that's really all there is. The only reason I didn't move up to Blizzard News is because we do this every week with Hearthstone.
So why do you keep asking us if we want to take a hit?
I was gonna say something, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I've made enough, censored jokes this show, but he deserves that question.
Yeah, like that's like the third time you've asked us if we want to hit.
Okay. I'm sick.
Sure, blame it on the sickness. Got it. Okay, moving on.
So what he's really saying is he's been taking stuff to feel better.
I think that's the underlying
I
behind the
do-
scenes thing.
I think so.
I do not self-medicate.
Yes, you do. You showed us before the show the other thing.
What?
His Bacardi.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That is,
Alcohol.
it's spicy water.
Potato.
Some of it is made from, well, not Bacardi, but some of the other types are made from potatoes.
Yes. And on that note, we're gonna move on from Hearthstone, and
No!
yes, we're gonna play with some heroes.
No.
Heroes of the Storm.
Yay! And as we do every week, freebies: Diablo, Kerrigan, Malfurion, Nazeebo, Sylvanas, and Vala. Tassadar 5, Lunara at 7. I was kind of surprised at that. Stitches at 12, and Luark at 15. Lysail is, ironically, the most overpowered healer in the game right now, even though he just got nerfed again. Rhaegar, 4.25. Ironclaw Rhaegar, 375, and Marshall Rayner at $5. Outside of that, we mentioned earlier the Diablo 2 Necromancer will be showing up Tuesday. That is officially confirmed. Whether I have my power supply and video card hooked up or not, I will be logging in, even if it's really brief, and buying this hero.
I just like the word necromancer. That's such a cool word.
Yes.
They should make a class of that in WoW.
It's called Death Knight.
I was gonna say you kind of already play that.
But I want the word necromancer because that's so much cooler than Death Knight.
That's one of the ones that you see pretty often when the younger generation makes names for Death Knights. Necro this, Necro that. Just
Well,
like
that's
Death
another
this and
variation of death, though.
Yeah.
That's why I
Well,
steer away from that.
So you want to be Death Mage?
No. You know what I really want? Okay, I used to play this game called Perfect World, and they had a thing called a Venomancer, and you could change into like a fox girl. That was cool. We should have that. So, like, I could play as like my human form and like kill people with magic, and then I could turn into a fox and melee them to death, and it was awesome. So yeah. Also, they were pretty hot.
Okay. The other thing heroes related, before we go too off topic again, Lunar Festival is ending March 1st. So if you have anything left in there for like portraits, that's the word I was looking for. Get in there by the 1st and get those wins and battles done. All that fun stuff. Excuse me.
Draven's dying.
If you are watching us live tonight, tomorrow starts the Regional Championship for Americas. If you play Heroes, watch it on Twitch. Make sure your Battle.net account is attached to it. You will get a free portrait via whenever Blizzard will give you a free portrait just for watching if your battle tag is attached to Twitch.
Okay, how do you link your battle
That's pretty
tag
cool.
to Twitch? I've never heard of that.
You go into your settings and
Really?
in Twitch.
I
It's the same as
forgot.
last year.
I didn't watch it last year.
Yeah, well, you probably won't watch it this year either, but
I may, just because if I ever play the game, a portrait would be cool to have.
yeah, that's really about it. I've already talked to a few people. Once I get everything set up and working properly, excuse me again, I'm dying. Once I get everything working properly, I plan on, assuming I'm vertical and not breathing dirt, I'm planning on playing a whole lot of not only heroes, but I am not in the no beta club, so I will be playing that also.
Well,
and
You kind of are an honorary member.
I'm
You're gonna kill him, Theory.
Stop it! I will, yeah. I'm kind of an honorary member right now until I get everything fixed. Still ticked off that it needs fixing to begin with, considering what I paid for my computer. But, so yeah, I will be doing that. I'm not making any announcements because I don't know what, if anything, will happen, but I'm talking to a couple people about pure Overwatch. I don't know if it's going to be audio only or what. Kind of a podcast there. And I made sure he knew that I am terrible at first-person shooters. So if he wants high-end level discussion, I'm not the guy. So he's still talking to me about it, so I assume that's not what he's looking for. Or he has no other options.
Sometimes just learning how to play it is fun. I'm really bad at shooters, but it's
Yeah.
fun.
It's just one of those things where if I'm going to possibly, I don't know when it'll start or if or anything like that, so like I said, I'm not making any announcements, I'm just talking about it right now. If it happens, it happens, and I'll let you guys know all that fun stuff. I know what I'm trying to say. I have no idea if it's coming out coherently or not. Probably not. Alright. So, we are running a little bit long. So, eventually...
That's what he said.
I know, I hear that all the time.
Said.
From himself.
No!
Well, Theory, did you see Deadpool yet?
I did. Yes, I did.
Okay,
Alright.
so you know the like
No
the little
spoilers.
hand?
Yeah.
Honestly, before you went there, I thought you were going to go with the unicorn from the credits, but
That was funny, but no, the little hand is better.
no spoilers, Theory. What did you think of it?
It was great. It was, I waited a while, so I got to hear what everybody else had to say about it, but it was really good. The fact that he cracked jokes about a couple of things in it that seemed like not really in the movie, but about the movie,
Mm-hmm.
trying not to give it away,
Yeah.
but about necessarily budgets and how much money they wanted to put in the movie, I thought was pretty hysterical.
Yeah. Well, that's literally his character in every form that is him. He's literally like turning to the camera like, can you believe the crap we're trying to get away with?
Yeah. Which, it was really good. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah. Scarlett, I know you went to see it recently too.
Yes, that's why I've been awake for 40-something hours, because I was going to go watch it and then go home and sleep. But so I tried not to have caffeine. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop drinking caffeine. And then I went to the movies and they give you like the giant thing of soda. and I got Coke, and then I was so awake, and then I just couldn't sleep, so I stayed awake, and yeah, it was good.
Yep.
It was good.
If you are old enough to get a ticket, I recommend you going to see it, as long as you're not easily offended by bad words, violence.
Vulgar humor.
Yes.
Isn't that the best kind?
If you have the mind of a teenager but are old enough to get a ticket to a rated R movie, you'll love this movie.
No, if you have my mind, then you should go see it. Mm-hmm.
So if you have the mind of a teenager, anyway, we're done, and that'll be enough endorsing non-Blizzard stuff for today. Outside of that, hint.
You weren't supposed to show that.
I only showed part of it.
You made a big deal about how that was rude to show that to people. And
Theory.
Yeah.
When have I ever claimed to actually be nice?
That's why I didn't understand it earlier.
I have thoughts. I actually maybe set that whole thing up right there. Thank you for making me actually explain it.
You mean more than one? You have more than one thought? That's such amazing.
Sometimes
I'm
even at the
proud of
same
you.
time. Anyway, we will eventually talk about the skins for Overwatch we like whenever I'm not dying or not. We're going to try to talk about the skins from Overwatch at some point. It won't be this week. This week, right now, I just want to fall over and stop talking. And Theory's thinking, yes, please stop talking. So, let's go ahead and do some shout-outs. Scarlett, you first.
I forgot to think of them.
All right.
So, shout
Plan
out to
B.
chat room. Thank you for watching and putting up with our silliness. And shout out to sleep, which I'm still not tired, so that's going to be interesting.
Yay. And Theory, shout-outs from you.
So, shout outs this week. I have one specific shout out that I want to give, and it's not to the people who didn't give me beta, because you didn't give me beta. You'll get a shout out when you do give me beta. It is to a character named Hagendas, who's in CTR, who is a very, very skilled hunter, who helped us this week get Archie down after struggling a little bit, came in and pretty much one-shot it as soon as it came in. So that was awesome. I'm catching it through the internet. It's not good. All right. So the one thing I want to say is I want to give a shout out to everyone who's raiding right now because they enjoy the time with their raid team. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
That's a really good shout out.
I am going to give a shout out to the Chemical Brothers. Not the band, the three in-game NPCs. I'm thinking if I butter them up, they might actually, drop them out. It never worked with Arthas, but you never know. And I will give a shout out to Howland because it's Howland, but not Galf.
Well, that's classatory or something. Like discriminatory, but class.
Classist.
He plays a DK and a hunter.
Two really good
Well,
classes.
I already know you don't like DKs, except for yours.
I am fine
I like
with Death Knights.
Knights.
I am fine with Death Knights. I like giving Scarlet a hard time, and anyone who has a Death Knight as a main. But that's because, leftovers from Wrath and the int plate that they decided they were going to try to wear.
But it makes us
Did not do
smarter.
that.
Stop insulting them. I need my int.
Yeah. So, I think that's going to be a show. There's no feedback this week, unfortunately. We would love if you gave us feedback.
I do have feedback. Actually, it's more of a statement. We need to have a
Cookies.
alcoholic beverage stream.
Oh, okay.
Cookies can be included in that, but the main thing is alcoholic beverages.
I'll tell you what. If I'm feeling better and we can figure something out, maybe. I make no promises. I'm not saying it will be a show night.
No, we need to have a show that's completely like, please don't listen to this if you're not a kid. I mean, if you're not an adult. And then we
Well,
should
it's already set at you have to be 18 to you have to say you're 18 to watch.
Yeah, but for the like other things.
Yeah, the audio and YouTube
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. And yes, Howland, at least I am always sober for the show. I will not ever promise anything from my co-hosts.
I've only really drank once
Likewise.
on the
That was
show,
a
that
fun
is.
stream though.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and let people know how to get a hold of us. So, Theory, are you ready?
I don't know, man. You gave me your cough. I don't know if I can do it.
Well, you're going to have to try anyway. So, got that right there for you. And as soon as you are ready.
So at Epic Fail Podcast, we do love it when you contact us. So here's the ways that you can do that. We are at www.epicfailpodcast.com. On Facebook, you can find us at /podcast Epic Fail. Twitter is at Podcast Epic Fail. You can follow Draven at Draven Dresden on Twitter. You can follow Scarlett at Scarlett_CTR. And you can follow me, Theory, at Gank Theory, also on Twitter. Don't forget, you can find our podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. We look forward to hearing from you.
I didn't mess anything up.
So, when you restart my background music, it makes it very difficult for me to line that up perfectly again. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm sick. What do you want?
Okay. I forgive you this time.
Totally bought it. Yes. I mean, what? Alrighty. Do we have any last words for the night? Alright. Fine then. I will give Howland the honorary last words because he talks so much. You can't get him to shut up and mumble. And having a death knight named Prepared just to scream, "You are not prepared." Those will be the last words of the night.
Hello, Mother. You know, the world could always use more heroes.